And we are back with Brice Long. This is your 4th time at Interstate Music. Can you believe that?
Do you have to talk right into this thing? Is that how we do this?
You're in this career. This is your career, dude. I mean, I think if you don't know what
just kidding.
to do with the microphone,
I'm just kidding,
this
man.
Is going
yes,
south.
it is my 4th time
It
here,
is your
and
4th
I'm
time. It's becoming
looking
a
forward
habit.
to a great night. Oh man, I'll take it.
Hey, I'll give it. I'll give it. So, you have been playing out. We were talking about this earlier. You play out a decent amount. You were talking about like 80 shows a year that you're out and doing it. And as like, I'm going to call you a hit songwriter, whether you like it or not. As a hit songwriter, is that something that you're just finding to be a lot of enjoyment to go out there and play for people and engage with the fans? Because so many songwriters are just behind the scenes, writing songs, co-writing, and not getting out there and telling the stories behind the hits. Is that just something that you love to do?
Yeah, I mean, it was, playing. I've always loved to play.
Yeah.
It was kind of, my first love, I guess. It was the very first thing I did as a kid, before I even started writing songs, was playing. I mean, ever since I was probably 4 or 5, singing was part of my deal. Yeah, I mean, it's the cool part about it, Jeff, like we were talking earlier, is for the performing songwriter, there's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
A lot of opportunity.
There is.
And so, playing between 70 and 80 shows a year, I mean, that also counts the, the Bluebird nights and the listening room nights in Nashville.
Sure.
But, yeah, man, it's great. I mean, there's just a lot of opportunity, and people love, they love to hear what we do, and they love
like
to hear the
behind the
stories.
scenes, yeah.
So it gives all of us that are performing songwriters a lot of opportunity to go out and play if they want to.
And so when you're out there doing that, how much does it distract you from being able to go and do more co-writes and writing? Is it tough?
No, not really, because, I mean, some weeks I'll write 4 or 5 times a week, and then some just 3.
Okay.
But lately, just over the last 4 or 5 years, I guess I'd say, it's really become a thing where it's it's fun, man. You get to go see people. You get to see a lot of great places. And
you're playing with friends on stage.
Absolutely, and a lot of wonderful people. I mean, that's how we met.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to meet so many great people, and it's just it becomes fun, especially when you're with the right people that you love. Because I'm a songwriter fan. You know that.
Yeah,
We've talked
absolutely.
about that. And getting to sit and around and listen to my friends sing songs that just absolutely knock me out.
Yep.
It's, it never gets old. And we all have a good time together. And it's really one of those things that kind of helps you go back to town and want to write more.
Right.
Because you kind of get out and do what you do. You see people. I mean, I get ideas out here, talking to people, being around.
And when you're writing, is it something that people are coming to you and saying, hey, I want you to write with so-and-so, or are you kind of a little bit like, these are the people that I'm writing with, and then one randomly shows up that comes up to you or reaches out, or somebody says, hey, we really want you to write this because so-and-so's cutting songs and they want you to write with this person.
Well, I think it's some of both.
Okay.
There's people that, I've written with a long time, I've had cuts with, and all, you kind of go back to the well, because you know who you write great songs with. And oftentimes with artists and stuff, we'll pull artists in to some of my favorite co-writes.
Yep.
But then, at Sony, my puggers, they throw me some new names and some new people, and I trust them with it, I mean, it's...
Well, they've known you for so long.
Yeah, and it gives me an opportunity, like, I'm one of those guys, Jeff, that, man, when I get done, I go home. I mean, I'm not much to hang around town and party lifestyle and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so I kind of trust them. There's some young pluggers there that I really respect and think a lot of, and they throw some good ideas. And I've written some really cool songs with some people that I didn't know that they've introduced me to. So that's, and they're always, they always have their kind of ear to what's going on and who's getting signed where, what artists you kind of want to get involved with early on. Because if they hit, then you're, if you're in there, hopefully if you write the right songs, hopefully you can stay.
That's true. I mean, when you've got these up and coming artists that are starting to get those opening slots for the bigger acts and this and that, and you're getting those cuts with them, and and they're going back to that same well. So if you wrote a good song for them, they're going to come back to you, and that keeps going, and their career is basically just starting. So I mean, that's what helps elongate the songwriter's career.
Sure.
By really just kind of, playing in that kind of safety zone, I would say, as you start to have those successes. So
well, and it's a lot of that. I mean, as I get older, you need that younger kind of
keep it fresh.
And yeah, you do. And
Yep.
and there's a lot of great writers. There's a lot of great young writers coming up, but there's a lot of great young artists too that I'm excited about, and having that opportunity to work with them and hopefully bring some of what I do into their world it works. I used to be in their shoes,
Right.
So I know what that's
So
like.
it's got to be hard to say no to somebody that's asking you to co-write when you just know that you've only got a limited amount of time, limited number of writes that you can do in a week. But I mean, you must be hit up all the time to get co-writes.
It
You
is.
can't say yes to all of them.
Yeah, you can't, and that part of it is tough because you don't hurt anybody's feelings,
Right.
But there's a certain part of what we do in our business that, I never got to write with people that were at my level when I started out.
Right.
I mean, it just didn't.
Right.
There was a group of us, that all wrote together, and we grew together, and we learned together, and we climbed the ladder together. But nowadays, it's there are some of those opportunities, based on who writers and artists are working with,
Right.
that they get in the rooms quicker as they're younger writers. And I don't know. I don't know if that's good or bad, honestly. It's I guess for some of them it helps, but sometimes it I think that when you grow at your own pace and grow with a group of writers or group of artists that are your age and kind of your class, if you say it like that.
Yep.
And then everybody starts having things happen. I watched it with all my buddies.
Yeah.
And they were getting cuts, and then they were having a single, and then it was and you cheered for those guys, and you kind of grew together. Some didn't stick around, some didn't stick it out long enough.
Yep.
But a lot of us did, and I don't know. I think for young writers and stuff like that, I think if they connect with a group of their own and kind of come up together like that and learn from each other. The more they do it, the better they get. And I feel like
No question.
to me, you got to have a few co-writes with, better writers or older writers, I should say.
Yep.
But there's just something cool about that, your class, if you, the only way
Yeah,
to say it,
right.
kind of like high school or college or whatever.
Right.
And you watch all your classmates have success together. And, it's just really cool when that happens.
How fun was Stampede?
Oh, man, it was great. It was just, to be honest with you, I was just thankful that they asked me to do it.
It's so cool. Just to watch a little bit of that journey and watch that show with all those guys in the rodeo, just like singing and the whole thing. It was fun.
It is. It's fun. And Justin McBride's been a really good friend of mine for a long time. And he reached out and just asked me to do that because he wanted for his team their own song.
Yep.
He's like, man, it's just something I want. And so I just asked him. I was just, I said, man,
Well, you know
what
that
are you
world.
thinking?
You know that
Yeah,
world.
I do. And that was why I think he reached out to me. But the main thing was I just wanted to know what he wanted. And then I wrote a verse and a chorus of it and sent it to him. I was like, man, am I on the right track? Is this what you want?
Yep.
Because you're asking me to do something specifically for them, for your
Yep.
team. And he was just blown away. He said, man, gosh, finish it. Just go ahead.
It's a hype song. I love it.
It was cool. It was fun. It was, it was good to have them in the studio. Those guys
Super
had never
cool.
been there.
Oh no,
And,
you could see
and
their
they had a
smiles on their face.
blast,
They
man.
did. They
had a
totally-
lot of
And
fun.
some could sing. Some,
Oh, yeah.
Some couldn't.
Oh, yeah. Some thought they could, and they found out real quick they couldn't.
Real quick. Real quick.
But we had a blast.
That's
man.
awesome. And your back-to-back foundation.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it's it was. For me, it was just a idea that I had after Nothing on But the Radio. It was my first big single that generated some income and stuff, and I just thought, man, I want to be able to do something at home, where I come from in
Right.
Kentucky, and so we found 5 families that first year that couldn't have Christmas, and we just just bought them Christmas. We went and shopped for them, got their stuff, took it to them, and out of that just kind of sprung into this foundation.
Yeah.
I had a lot of friends up there help me with it in my hometown, and a ton of people have gotten behind it, a ton of sponsors, and Jeff, I've had people from all over, ask me about it and give to it through the years. I mean, tons of people,
Yeah.
and this year we got lucky, and we passed over, $1 million that we raised
unbelievable.
for our foundation, and we, our main goal is always Christmas. I mean, last year we gave 127 families Christmas that couldn't have it. Along with a lot of other things we've been able to do in the community, support a lot of other organizations, support a lot of really cool things that are going on in those counties of Christian Trigg and Todd County, where I'm from in Kentucky. And man, it's been a blessing. And to be honest with you, Jeff, we've talked about it. I don't know that I had a goal or I had any kind of this is exactly what I want to do.
Right.
Any of that. It was just like, I just felt like it was like God said, if you'll take the first step, I'll show you the rest of the path. And man, I've seen things happen and things show up, and it just, I mean, it's, to me, it's what it's all about. I mean, it's truly what it's all about.
It is, and I want to thank you. I mean, it's a blessing to have you, because I'll be perfectly honest with you. I mean, when you and Mark Nessler played here at Interstate Music that first time, I had no idea where anything could or should or would go for Interstate Music and what the next steps were. And the way that you've just kind of almost, in a way, taken me under your wing, kind of befriended me and just trusted in the fact that you believed in what we were doing and what we wanted to do. And the introductions that you've made and the people that you've entrusted, that I treat them right. I can't thank you enough for that, because it is honestly exactly why we've gone down that path.
Sure.
When you talk about didn't have that expectation, but it just started happening because you kind of gave it that nudge that you're like, yeah, that's something that, I think I'm going to do something to help it keep going. And you introduced me to people that have been great to me and have trusted Interstate Music, and I can't thank you enough for that. I mean, I'll never forget the fact that you and Mark are honestly those guys.
Man, it's having that opportunity to do it. Our town in Nashville's full of great people that just
it is.
Everybody, it's it looks so big from the outside.
Yep.
But once you get in it, it's real small because everybody knows everybody. And that's a good thing, and it can be a bad thing.
Yep, sure. Absolutely.
I mean, and that's the cool thing. It's you came down, you presented yourself, you've knocked it out of the park, you've done what you told people you would do. And man, that, I think for anybody, it doesn't matter if you're a writer or a picker or a manager or, in business like you are. I mean, it's, the thing about it is, man, you get out of it what you put in it.
Yeah.
And man, you put the right things in it.
I got an amazing team. Just great people, great personalities, great energy. That just keeps me waking up wanting to keep doing it and doing more for it. And I can't thank you enough. And it's always been great.
Oh man,
this is gonna be this friendship's forever, man.
Yes, sir.
Wait. Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
Thanks, JP.